and see what happens on Kairos Junction. We just saw this man playing some pretty solid TVZ against Sue. When he let it go to the later stages rather than trying to free racks, it worked out pretty well for him. To the bottom right side, our blue Terran is Bunny. Top left hand side, our red Zerg. This is Solar. Getting this set to go. In game number 1, we're going to be seeing the free racks again. Man, Bunny just wants to be... I mean, it didn't work against Sue. Obviously, he got scoured pretty fast. Let's see what happens here as Bunny's second SCV will get across before the Overlord sees it. It will just be a 2-rax, by the way, as well. So, no third SCV coming across the map. So, a little bit less kind of... a little less all-in and a bit more kind of pressure focus this time around here from Bunny. As he gets this started up, the 2-rax on the way down there, as we have got the Overlord of Solar scouting around. He doesn't see anything with his initial scout patterns. So, Bunny really has put them in the perfect position for Solar to miss these. Hatchery first as well from Solar, so we won't exactly have a free kind of setup against it with the potential pool first or so. As we do see a Marine on the way up, second Rax going to be finishing in a moment, and obviously those Marines going to gather up a little bit. Solar won't know about this for a little while. Maybe with a couple of Marines, or maybe as the SCVs finish, you'll move forwards, because you do want to try and get the bunker down as soon as possible as well. So here you go, 2 SCVs leading the charge, and they're going to go into the natural and get ready to bunker up. So there's bunker number 1, and here we go for bunker number 2 maybe. In a moment or so, 2 bunkers coming down, and this Marine of Bunny going to be picking its way through that hatchery. So, Marine of Bunny just dealing a little bit of damage at the moment here and starting to pick away at that. You see this Overlord of Solar continue to escape up through the top side. Some more Marines continue to come over, and Bunny going to be picking his way through this natural hatch. So, Solar immediately goes into a Rotoran here. Now, the Rotoran generally means you're probably going to lose the third hatch. We saw it didn't mean it when Sue played against Bunny earlier, because then Sue was in a position where he delayed the racks from coming up. In this situation, the bunkers are here on time, and this hatchery will fall. But against just 2 racks, that's not really a good spot, because already back at home, Bunny has double gas. He has a factory on the way. He's already transitioning very nicely here. So Solar is in a lot of trouble at the moment as we get this going. Queen is going to be very close on coming out here as well. It's just going to make it out. As you see, the Marines at times were attacking this Overlord and so on. So they completely focused on the hatchery. Maybe they could have stopped the Queen, but... well, Queen comes out, drops the creep tumor. That's important for us connecting the creep between the main and the natural. Which can be pretty nice as well. And keeps some creep on the low ground too, unless the creep tumor goes down. Oh, nice pick off. That's 25 energy gone. That's obviously 25 less energy away, 25 energy away from a transfuse. Now for no benefit as well. No low ground creep to kind of work with here. That is a shame. So that's a little bit of a unfortunate moment or so. Let's do have the couple of Ravagers just still setting on up on the natural there. You see the 2 bunkers with just a Marine on each of them being repaired up. I mean, Bunny's like, okay, well, let's head home, get my Marines back. See the starport on the way up here. And he's got his factory moving into a tech lab. He's already made 1 tech lab with the factory for the starport to jump onto. Obviously, one of the biggest threats with this setup of Solar is when you're going to have this army of Solar pushing across the map with, Ravagers and Biles, and, that can be dangerous. So by keeping the Marines alive, having a Banshee up immediately, it's going to be a very, very safe position. As Solar will just come down to the low ground now and expand. But the expansion of Bunny is already halfway done. So he's going to be able to move that down pretty easily here shortly. As you will see that Overlord getting picked off. So an Overlord falling. And again, Ravagers, Zerglings, more Roaches too coming across. Definitely will take a bit of damage with this. And maybe we even see the tech lab going down. Could deny further Banshees. At least 1 Banshee will come up though. And 1 Banshee sometimes is all you need. There's a Cyclone about to pop as well. So again, the damage output of Bunny is increasing very quickly, very shortly. We're going to see a couple of Lings going to go down. The Cyclone locks on towards a Ravager in the back, which I like as well. Doesn't just lock onto the one that was already about to die. There's the Banshee popping up, and, well, I mean, this is Solar's opportunity to maybe get back into the work count, etc. a little bit. 6 workers down. The Banshee going to get another couple of kills as the Cyclone going to go down as well. So Cyclone Bunny takes a little bit more damage. On the right side, we see this Overlord just hanging out also. So Overlord just going to hang out over there as we see the lair on the way up from Solar. So that's going to be coming up in a moment or two. Stimpack drops down from Bunny as well as we see the command center in the main base also coming through with this orbital moving down to the natural. Oh, the engineering bay from Bunny, man. Look at that. Engineering bay drops down to block the third base on the bottom side. Does force the third base to the top, which I guess isn't the preferable third base. I feel as though this position can be good for Terran players though, for the tanks and so on. Over here, I mean, I guess you could kind of tank up the kind of high ground up here and push down. It's obviously not the third base that Solar wanted though, and that's what's important with all of this. As you do see the Banshee, sorry. Where is that Banshee? There it is. Just picked up a couple of kills and got out of there alive as well. The Viking heading to main. Obviously, Banshee doesn't have Cloak because the Tech Lab was killed off. And losing that Tech Lab, he now just builds a Liberator to kind of follow up and harass after the Viking, which has already come through and is actually going to be able to get an Overlord here before being turned away by the Queen. So, nice little pick off, and Solar actually hitting a supply block from that. This Banshee sees the third base as well, gets some damage onto it, but Queen's here, and he actually loses the Banshee, which is a bit of a shame. So obviously loses out on the hatchery as we're going to be seeing the Viking going down towards the center. A little bit of a lair just building up right now as well here from Solar, so getting that lair going. So lair coming up, 1-1 upgrades coming through, and a Stimpack upgrade starting up on the barracks. So Bunny getting that ready to roll. And again, a few Marines and a Cyclone gathering up from Bunny as well. Going to be seeing this Overlord from Solar setting up at the front too. And again, +1 missiles, +1 carapace, a few roaches on the way out. Just getting this set to go. Liberator going to pull away just a little bit here. And as we do have the, again, Queen's able to deal just a little bit of damage there. Bunny going to be able to come along with this Liberator and go out in towards the center of the map. You see the hatchery just going to be chilling out. A few Ravages going to be morphing in. A couple of Queens going to be spreading some creep out over to the right-hand side. And again, just going to be seeing the roach speed is currently on the way up here from Solar. So, getting that roach speed coming up. And you see, again, a couple of Marines just dropping down. As this Overlord going to get picked off. So, Overlord gets picked off there. And again, the Medivacs here just going to be chilling out. As we are going to be seeing the Marines going to be heading over towards the center and over to the far left. Bane and Nest dropping down here from Solar as well. A few roaches still coming through. And there's a few racks from Bunny continue to come up as well with 1-1 upgrades and combat shields also coming into play. Bunny coming up to the top side is going to be able to, with these Marines, to again apply a little bit of pressure. Going to be dropping around in towards the main base in the next couple of moments. Going to be unloading there very shortly. Ready to drop off and run in towards the Queen, run in towards the mineral line with the drones. Just looking to deal some damage there as again these Marines begin to unload. Just going to be stimming in a moment or two. So there we go. A few Marines stimming forwards. Overlord goes down. We're just going to be seeing that Roach run actually under some pressure. Well, I mean, Bane speed on the way up. I feel like there's going to be a lot of Wing Bane production right now as well. So Roach run going down isn't the end of the world. Solar can still produce. As Bunny now drops on towards the low ground. Bunny didn't start 2-2 upgrades, by the way, neither did Solar, so they're both on 1-1, which is something you probably want to be a little bit careful about. Don't want to delay your upgrades too much. Roaches and Ravages waiting in the main, so Bunny pushed away there instantly, or well, not pushed away, but decides not to go in, believe it or not. As we are going to be seeing more Marines unloading up on the top side. Now we do have 2 tanks here, Cyclone as well, all of this setting up between the natural and the third base. Concussive shells getting started as well from Bunny, a couple of extra racks on the way down. And the infestation pit drops in the back of the main, with Lings, Roaches, and Ravagers all pushing through here in the center of the map, and they're going to chase over to try and shut down those couple Medivacs, which are again just running away over to the right side. Viking picking its way through this Overlord. Overlord is continuing to take some damage and will perhaps go down in a moment or two. There we go, Overlord killed. Nice shutdown there. As we're going to be seeing these Lings continue to come forwards. Marines going to lift up in towards the Medivacs, and again they back away towards the upper right-hand side. There are a couple of changelings of Solar coming down through the center of the map now, and we are going to be still seeing the Roaches, the Ravages, and the Banes all still setting up here. By the way, just very quickly to mention, Kua just tied it up 1-1 against Gumiho. So Gumiho and Q are going to a game 3 down in the lower bracket. Just some more score updates for you guys here at the moment. And as we make our way through the winning bracket, though, again, qualifying matches right now. We're focusing up on these best of 5s, which will determine who goes to the Intel Extreme Masters Katowice at the end of February. Hive about halfway done here. Solar is going to get up towards that Hive tech after I feel like Bunny had a good early game. I guess the Roach counter did a good amount of SCV damage, and Solar was able to really drag himself back into it because of that. Just going to be seeing those Marines ready to drop down into the back of the main. Going to see Lings counter-attacking across here. Shank gets surrounded. Marauders going down. Stemming up here, these Marines going to go for the Overlord Queen going down as well. A couple more Zerglings getting picked off. We see the Bio coming in towards the top. Banes are just found here in the middle of nowhere. You still get okay damage done. This hatchery will be cancelled though. Dropping the main base too, and this is Bunny getting into his element. You know, when he's able to just drop around the map, go all over the place, and just do all sorts of damage. Well, here we go with Lings, Banes, and Roaches starting to run forwards here. Tanks continue to fire away. Couple more Banes going off. Good connections. We are going to be seeing the attack of Solar coming back over to the left side. Now we see Solar run down the left with some Lings as well to try and defend. This Bioforce keeps on pressing in. More Lings taking a lot of damage. Oh my god, these Lings are just getting destroyed, man. Lings get absolutely shut down, and Bunny eventually lifts up and leaves. But, I mean, Solar's just lost so much army in the last couple of moments. I mean, Bunny's about to get 2-2 as well, so it's only going to get worse, and Bunny does clean up. And Solar... Sorry, I'm... 2. And kick off into this series, which Bunny now takes the lead of, going into a nice large map of Parasite. Let's see what happens here. As we start up to the top left side, our red Terran player. This is Bunny. At the bottom right, our blue Zerg is Solar. Thank you so much, Googly Goink, for the Twitch Prime sub. Thank you so much for the Twitch Prime. Appreciate it. Yeah, sorry, my throat's just a little bit funky today, guys. Don't know what's up. I think it's okay. I think it's just at moments it's like, I just need to take a moment to cough a little bit or something. So all good, all good. To get this ready to go. Couple drones on the way up, hatchery on the low ground getting this started as Overlords are moving around, checking for those proxies once again. On Parasite it's deadly, because if a proxy comes in, you don't arrive on this side of the map to see the command center not being there for so long. So if you don't see it being proxy, it can be really, really deadly. And Solar will just still go hatch, gas, and pool those, so setting up in towards this. Going to be having that Reaper from Bunny getting started here in the main base as well. So Reaper on the way out, as we are going to be seeing in a moment or so. Bunny will drop down a command center. So a command center will drop into position down on the natural. And now we have this Overlord of Solar starting to head up towards the upper left-hand side. Orbital command is about to finish up here from Bunny. And as the orbital command finishes up, we are going to be seeing the SCV Marine on the way out. All of this getting going. And Marine's just a little bit of a safety thing, because obviously Bunny hasn't scoured either, and if it is a pool first, he needs the Marine on the way out at home to be able to defend. Otherwise, the Reaper's going to be across the map. It takes forever to come back home, and you could really take a lot of damage on the CC, a big delay. That's obviously very bad for you. With the Marine, you can just pull a couple SCVs down your safe. He actually keeps the Reaper here anyways, so both of these players just being very cautious in the early games of this second map now. Neither of them wanting to take a kind of a dive and to go too far, to commit too much. Both of them just being very, very careful at the moment, so you can understand why. It makes a lot of sense, as we are going to be seeing a Marine just hanging around on the ramp. Reactor going to be finishing up on this racks in a moment or so. The factory going to be finishing shortly as well. And again, there is that Marine just patrolling away here from Bunny. Back and forth, seeing what's up. Single Zergling coming up the right-hand side, and going to be seeing what can happen there as Reaper hops in towards the main base, but that's going to be a Spore Crawler dropping down and then cancelling. So, just going to be keeping that drone alive in the end. One Zergling drops, and the Reaper just about sneaks out of there as I see a Zergling does try and sneak up into the main, but Depot's raised, Hellion's coming down. I mean, I think he already sees a fair amount, though, even if he doesn't get in. He sees a tech lab on the barracks, and he saw the racks lifting up, I think. Maybe he didn't, but, I mean, so I guess not full information. Doesn't know there's a starport on that tech lab. Now the Viking is going to go down, Cloak will start, so maybe Viking into the Banshees. As he'll just play a Hellion Banshee opener. We'll see if an Armory joins it for the Hellbats, though we haven't been seeing that all too much lately. As we just see the lair about to finish up in the main base in the next few moments. And we are going to be seeing the Cloak actually end up being cancelled. So, well, just as the Overlord flies in as well, he wants to hide the fact he's going Banshees. Okay. And this really does look like he's not going Banshees as well, right? Viking initially, no Cloak on the tech lab. Starts it up again though, so we'll end up with the Cloak Banshee here. And that might make Solo just skip a little bit of something that's kind of necessary for him. Solo does have the lair now about to finish, and it is a pretty fast lair. So we saw him yesterday, Solo going for a couple of 2-base Spires. That's casting him versus Gumiho. He went for some very quick Spire, or not really 2-base, but 3-base with kind of 2-base saturation. So very fast Spires and Mutila's play, and if you play Mech, it can actually be very, very effective. Reaper Scout, though, is going to see the lair very quickly, and if you see the lair, you already got to wonder as Bunny, well, what could this be? Obviously, Spire and Mutalisks are pretty good way to do it. So, yeah, here we go. Spire on the way up. I feel like Bunny has a decent idea, and it does mean as well, Sola isn't really prepared for this Hellbat attack, as we see, I mean, Cryptium going down there. The Cloak's almost done for the Banshee, which is coming across with this as well. The Viking is even landed. Sola is just making drones. He just added on more drones. This is really bad for Sola, guys. He has 2 free lava to build stuff with as these Hellbats push in, and there's so many Hellbats. I mean, Queens are going to start having to kite away and split up amazingly. Banshee gets targeted very quickly, does go down, so that's at least something here for our Zergling. Gets rid of the Banshee. But, I mean, already 2 Queens dead. Zergling's on the way out. Again, if you survive this, maybe you can deal good damage with the Mutas as a follow-up. Hellbats are going to split up a little bit as they go in towards different bases here. Going to start chasing those Queens again. I mean, obviously, the whole plan of this is to try and get some drones at the end of the day. And there is a Spine Call about to finish up in the back of this natural. Another Queen going down. This Queen here is also going to get very low. I'd almost love to see, even if a couple more Hellions come over, not morph them into Hellbats, just keep them going up against those drones, which are, I mean, even move these Hellbats into Hellion mode again now, because then they could run in after these drones. Tell you what, there's absolutely no defense against this Banshee on the natural. This Queen on the ramp is like the only kind of last stand against the Banshee at the moment. I mean, another one just popped out, but then there's not detection. Okay, the Overseer just flies in. As I say, that didn't quite see that on the screen. Then you're going to go to the left-hand side and get even more workers. And Sola has dropped 15, 16 workers so far as the Mutalisk pops up and is going to be able to shut that down. Actually, no, because the Overseer won't stay in range. Oh, man. Sola going to be down in workers here. We'll lose the Banshee, unfortunately. Bunny, as you see a couple of Marines fighting the Overseer. Missile turrets on the way up to deal with the Mutalisk as well, so he's already somewhat prepared for this. He didn't go into a mech, which would have a lot less anti-air. And the Buyer will have Marines. He has the Engineering base already. Looking absolutely fantastic, honestly, guys. Looking great, as we do see the meters picking away. A couple of supply depots on the front. We see more meters coming up towards the top side. And again, a few Marines going to stem forwards. These SCVs of Bunny going to come in and repair up the depots as well. Again, Overseer still just hiding away in the back. Bane and Nest from Sola is going to be on its way up. About halfway done. Wouldn't mind goes off on the meters. There's a few Marines stimming after it again. The meter count just isn't scary enough just yet. As Sola, Bane and Nest on the way down, spamming a ton of links. He's just going to go for one big push to try and win this game. Worst thing Bunny can do right now, probably move down to the low ground and actually try and hold that third base. Muta's dealing quite a lot of damage. All the links coming across. I mean, the Banes are going to be slow, so that's something at least. As the Marines will stem in here, go for the Overseer, so you can't target down Widow Mines, which are burrowed. And again, and here come the Lings. They're going to surround in, and Bunny, instantly realizing what's up, gets out of there. That Widow Mine burrows and will go off on just a couple Lings in the end. SCVs going down. I mean, he can afford to take some damage here. The most important thing is he survives, and so far he is doing that. Pulling all the way up into the main is big for him, although now his natural under attack. Bunny supply block from losing the supply depot. SCV is pulled to the side. New depots will build. But there's the Banes coming up. I mean, this is not the safest place to build those new supply depots, is it? GSEV is still alive down on the low ground here. He's going to try and harass through the depots already, so he doesn't have to use as many Banes. Means there's more Banes available from Marines. 1-1 upgrades are done though from Bunny, so he should trade well with combat shields too. Here come the Banes, and Bunny's just like, yep, okay, well, I'm out of here for the moment. Widowmines target the Banelings, although the first Baneling's going down. Actually, don't do too much. Now trying to kill that Widowmine up on the high ground. Natural expansion of Bunny is evacuated. Knowing again, if he just survives this attack, he should do a good job of this. The Banes will bust through. Now the Marines will stem. There's a couple of Banes he has to target fire down to make sure he doesn't take too much splash damage here. He gets one of them. The second one goes down now too. The missile turrets are fighting the mutas. And in the end, Solo's not going to be able to do this. He has no army remaining. Game 3 of Solo versus Bunny, as we have got to the bottom left side of the map. Our red Zerg player, this is Sola. And to the top right, our blue Terran player from Team Placer, we've got Bunny. So game 3 of this best of 5 here. And Bunny is on match point, about to qualify for Intel Extreme Masters Katowice. And that would be absolutely crazy. As we get this going into game 3. I love the defense from Bunny in that game too, though. I mean, you just know that he can read the situation well, right? He's good. He knows I just defend and I probably win the game. So he pulls away from the third base and he pulls away from the natural as well. And I love that. Go all the way up into the main. Widowmine spread out on the main base ramp as well. So it's like boom, boom. And so there was 2 sets of Widowmines which picked off a few Banes as well. And then you have to bust through the depots on the main base to finally get in towards the main and to be able to do... I mean, just absolutely crazy. As we get this going. And you just see this Reaper coming down towards the bottom left side and seeing what's going on. Obviously the Lings speed on the way up here from Solar. And again, those Lings gathering up, ready to jump on that Reaper perhaps. Reaper comes in, grenade goes down. We are going to be seeing the Reaper taking quite a few shots of damage. Oh, pops back up to the high ground. Nelly goes down. Bunny nearly paying for that there. Nearly paying for that dealie actually. As we do have the couple of Lings is going to be nibbling their way through these rocks on the low ground, so just nibbling their way through that. Obviously getting rid of those. We see the hatchery coming down on the third base now as well. So getting that third hatchery down, getting that going. And these Overlords just hanging out at the moment as the starport drops down in the main base. A couple of Hellions on the way out too. So getting those set up here. As we're going to be seeing the tech lab from Bunny dropping down in the main base as well. So ready for that starport to jump onto that tech lab, as we saw a little bit of in that last game. The Banshees eventually coming through, and they did a pretty good job along with those Hellbats. The Solo was just so unprepared for that initial opening. They're trying to go into the fast middleists and so, but it leaves you vulnerable. You know, you skip the Bane nest, for example, and yeah, just obviously fell apart pretty quickly, as we do have hatchery coming down on the bottom side of the map, getting this going. And the 2 Hellions and the Reaper going to be coming down towards the bottom left side. Just going to be seeing those drones. Just going to be continuing to come on up here from Solar. As you see a lot more of them just saturating up. I mean, the first couple of Hellions poking towards the third base, but they're going to get pushed away pretty quickly by those couple of Queens. Liberator on the way out at the moment, so getting that up. And there's a couple of Marines going to keep on fighting against this Overlord. Overlord trying to scout what's going on, but goes down pretty quickly, so Overlord will fall. And it's now Hellions moving down to the bottom left-hand side to also try and see what else is happening here. If Zerglin gets picked off as the Liberator comes down to the bottom side of the map. And that's about to finish up here from Solar. And again, those Hellions just chilling out from Bunny in the center of the map. And a few more Zerglings moving around. Liberator Siege is going to be able to pick up a couple of these drones already. Hellions running in now. No armory this time around though, so it's not going to be the same attack as before. Just a couple of drones. Hellions running by for looking for opportunities, but there isn't any. And this Lib just going to siege up over towards this natural expansion now as well. Queen will be forced to move away, and we'll be able to maybe get another drone. Nope, they pull away quite nicely. Get to Queen though, as it accidentally runs back in. Now Hellions are going to dive back in towards the third. Loses a couple of them, but no, gets 7 workers here in total. And it looks like the Hellions are going to get out alive, which is for the most part important as well. Lost a couple in the Liberator. It's okay. It's good harassment early game from Bunny, and going towards Bio as well. He's already set up into the 3 racks. The engineering base have started 1-1. In fact, in general, Bunny's position now is looking pretty fantastic as that third base morphing into an orbital and getting set up to go. Hellions of Bunny going to come in towards the other side. And they're just going to be running through, just going to jump straight up into the natural expansion. A couple of Evo chambers on the way down from Solar. As that third base orbital lifts up, going to come down towards the south a little bit and get dropping down there to get this roll. And again, a few Marines coming out as well. SCV is just going to repair up these Hellions. And yeah, nice repairs at the moment. And there's the lift up of Marines from Bunny as well, going to start pulling down to the bottom left-hand side of the map here to try and apply a little bit of pressure. Again, Bunny loves his drop plane. He is one of the better Terrans with dropping around the maps lately. He's always paying attention to those drops. He's always kind of babysitting and making sure he gets the most out, making sure Marines don't get left alone. While doing it in multiple locations is obviously the most important thing. Just going to be seeing that siege tank coming across. So Bunny going to turn this into a bit of an attack. Lane goes down over on the left side. So Hellions, Marines, all coming down to the far left as we're going to be seeing some creep spread. Going to start getting cleaned out a little bit as well. So again, a little bit of creep going down. Some Marines will stem forwards. And that hatchery is going to be taking some damage too. Lanes, Queens starting to press through. And then Hatch taking a little bit more damage right here. Queen's still fighting. We see on the top side these 3 Zerglings of Solar. Going to try and see what's going on as well as the Marines splitting up and those Banes taking some damage. Lings are going to be able to pick off that siege tank as again the Marines stemming in. Going to get rid of another couple of Queens there. Nicely done. As we're going to be seeing those medevacs jumping up into the main base. Bunny is just already dealing good damage, man. I mean, this is where he already gets scary. He has 1-1 against 0-0 for a little while, so trading against the Lings is extremely effective. It was a little late on 2-2 because that armory was delayed, so that maybe gives Solar a little bit of an option or opportunity to catch up. He has the gas available to start 2-2 immediately, Solar. Even right now, 2-2 can't start it exactly from Bunny. He's just a little bit of short on the gas for the +2 armor. So definitely allowing Solar to play a big catch-up time when it comes to upgrades. Although Solar in general just banking money up. He has got lava, so he's just waiting to see what he can do. Quick update, Kua takes down Gumiho 2-1. As we see the Marines moving forwards, and we're going to be seeing the Banes coming in. Marines in the Hellbat lifting up, going to boost away up the left-hand side. Again, Marines continue to press forwards here with some creep clearing. They're just shutting down a whole bunch of this at the moment. A whole bunch of creep tumors getting cleaned out so far. Loading back up into those medevacs here. And as we do see the command center dropping down from Bunny on the third. So those racks getting set up. They're going to be finishing in a moment or two. We're going to be seeing a tech lab dropping down, another tech lab dropping down as well. It's going to be 2 tech labs and a reactor getting dropped in here. You see Marines going to stem back down to the bottom side, and they're going to be able to pick off a hatchery. So hatchery goes down, and down the left we see Marines in a tank going to be trying to drop in towards the main base. So again, Bunny just on 2 different sides of the map, pulling the Zerg player apart. Making a good job of this so far. Spore Crawler dealing some damage to the medevac as it drops down in towards the natural now. Just drops the Hellbat down over there, then loops back around towards the main. Now Hellbat's actually doing a lot of damage to those Zerglings as well. On the bottom side, more creep being cleaned up again. We're just going to see Lings getting shut down. Solo was in the end a little bit slow to start his own 2-2, so he's a few seconds behind the 2-2 of the Terran player once more. And Bunny will... we'll see if he can do something with that. I mean, it's going to be really difficult to make that fight happen, right? To be able to get in position at the right time, to force a fight at the right time when he has like a 15, 20, like it's just such a small window. So I don't think it should have much of an effect. As Solo finishing up Hive, he's ready to go into the next stage of his game here in just a few moments, I'd imagine. Everything's still running on over the little right. We see a couple of tanks and Marines from Bunny coming up to help defend the 4th base, which is about to land on down here. Again, Zerglings of Solar just hanging out in the top left is pressing forwards. Bunny trying to see what he can do. Bottom right, we see a few Marines and a couple of medevacs set up as well. Stim will come down and clean up a few of these creep tumors already, so getting rid of a few of those. Get a little bit of damage being dealt so far, as we're going to be seeing the Lings coming straight in, surrounding that command center, and a lot of SCVs going down, actually. A bunch of SCVs starting to drop down here. This Bio going to get surrounded a little bit by those Zerglings. In fact, a lot of these Lings are going to keep on dropping, so a lot of Lings going down as we see the Marines taking a little bit more damage. 11 SCVs getting picked off as you see some Marines are going to jump over to the right side. And again, those two tanks of Bunny going to get sieged up as well in a moment or two to keep on pressing down. Small crawler here from Solar going to be picked off in a moment or two. Again, Marines dropping down as they're going to keep on fighting. Lings are going to keep on running through this as well. You see on the right side those Banes still looking for an opportunity. And again, Marines coming down on the left, picking off a couple of creep tumors once again. Still these Marauders coming down. As you do see the Widow Mines from Bunny, probably going to want to do something with these. This isn't too pretty, is it? As you see the Bio going to press in, and Widow Mines are going to burrow up. So Widow Mines going to burrow, Widow Mine goes off, and the Zergling's going to take some damage. Widow Mine's actually going off in Broodlings there. Big counterattack from Solar, has some potential. And Bunny deals with this pretty well, lifting his units in towards this gap. It is only Zerglings here, so he can actually just sit in these gaps and actually trade extremely well. On the other side, his main army still pressing forwards. Man, Solar has just lost so many Zerglings. He's done barely anything with them. I mean, a few Lings up into the natural, maybe the most concerning. Finally, these units are starting to be picked away at here, but he's obviously now got reinforcements coming out, and those Lings just aren't really getting enough done. You can see that Bunny's trading better by about a 1,500 resources lead. So doing a good job of this as we see Lings, Banes, and Ultras were starting to press up that right side as well. Tank here taking some damage. Marine Stim in, picking that Zergling off once again. And we are just going to be seeing the free upgrades coming in from Bunny too. So getting that started up. A couple of Ultras still on the way out. And that Ling Bane Queen Ultra Force from Solar sitting out on the right side. As you see Widow Mine's Bio pressing through. And, well, that's a Viper, but I'm not sure what the Viper's going to do right away. I mean, Blinding Cloud could be somewhat good against this, perhaps. Widow Mines don't do a lot. Ultras must have chitinous, right? Yes, they do. Free upgrades starting from Bunny, though, and apparently Solar can't afford that just yet. This position is very difficult for Bunny, because he still has a lot of units on this side of the map, and they're not really able to do anything now. And now the counterattacks of Solar are going to start getting a little bit more done. Widow Mines are going to be one of the real things he has to kind of shut this down a bit more effectively. Now Solar sends a lot more across the map. Bunny's loaded up into medevacs, and he's going to have to decide what he wants to do. The third base is going to be completely gutted. Bunny just has nothing to defend in this location. Marines on the bottom right get a few drones before getting cleaned up. Drop into the main base, though, and I mean, well, now he's going to get some Zerglings. He should be able to get some important production structures, too. That Ultra's Cavern, for example. Now no more Ultras can come up. He might even be able to get the Hive. Oh, he's going to go for the spawning pool, so he can't make Zerglings. In fact, Solar can't build anything for him, but he just cleaned out the fourth base as well. I feel like get the Hive, stop the Ultra's Cavern from coming back up. That would be amazing. As we're going to be seeing units are slowly making their way into this main base. I mean, there's still a lot of Bio here. As Bunny doesn't quite get the Hive, pulls away. The Bane's getting some good damage done. In the end, might just want to lift up and leave with these medevacs to make use of that. Although the Spore Crawler gets a full medevac of units. Bunny gets back down to a third base. There's only Lings left over here with one Ultra, so it's not super scary. Bunny is in the mineral line again, looking for more worker kills. He's brought Solar down to 41 workers, so while Solar has hatcheries, well, I still don't mind Bunny's position, actually. He's done a lot. And again, obviously can't build Solar right now, Lings or anything, really. He's building a few Corruptors. Oh man, that Hive staying alive is really critical as well. It takes so long to rebuild a Hive, obviously, so you have to build the lair first as well. It's really unfortunate Bunny couldn't quite finish that off. Army supplies are even the worker count. Solar, just a few workers ahead. He just added on a few. Bunny's going to press forwards using these tanks. What's he going to do with the Corruptors? He doesn't have Great Aspire, not yet, so he's just looking for Corruptors to shut down these medevacs, perhaps. Widow Mines got going off here and actually dealing quite a lot of damage. More Widow Mines will want to burrow up, and well, there isn't really much of a detection to kind of get rid of those right away. Now you will start to do that. Solar's army starting to look a bit too good, but only Ultras. Maybe you can kite away from these, especially as you go off creep. The Ultras don't have anabolic synthesis, so they don't have the extra speed off of creep. So Bunny can kite and will get rid of 3 of the Ultras there. That's a big turning point, perhaps, as Queen's trying to transfuse up this Ultralisk. 26 more Zerglings on the way out with an 8-worker lead. Bunny still is trying to deal with these Lings up here as well. Solar's just set to run by, and that is going to be even more damage dealt. I don't think Bunny can deal with that. Don't think Bunny can deal with that as we see a couple of Banes going down. Zerglings chasing down SCVs. Again, Marines. Oh, the Widow Mines just blew up like 10 SCVs as well because there was a Zergling on them. Oh, man. Bunny. This became a very crazy game, and Bunny, I still wanted to believe for a while, but now on 20 worker deficit, he has his natural expansion on the 4th base, he can mine a bit, but then Lings run by. You just can't be everywhere defending at the same time. That's the big issue. I see a couple of changes coming down, trying to mess things up. Lings and Banes just rolling on through here. Bunny has free upgrades against 2-2, but that is not going to make the difference when Solo just has so much. What will happen? As we have got to the top right side, still leading the series 2-1. Our red Terran is Bunny. On the left-hand side, our blue Zerg, we have got Solar. I mean, the counterattacks from Solar, absolutely essential to take that down there and to win that game number 3 and to keep himself alive. Counterattacks were the one thing that really there was just no answer to again and again out of Bunny. And Bunny going to open on blue shift with the proxy racks. The far left side, just the 2 once again, so not the 3 racks. Again, he used that against Sue earlier. Didn't turn out so great for him. He has proxy racks in this series before, and it was actually very successful. I would say, oh, it isn't a 3rd SCV, so it is triple racks. He has proxy racks in this series before, and it was very successful. I think it put him into a good spot. He ended up winning the game. The game definitely kind of dragged on a bit after the proxy racks, but I feel like Bunny did come out in a strong position. Maybe, I don't think the position alone won him the game, as Solar, man, he is, again, just going to fly by the side of this. And again, with triple racks, it's very, very difficult to kind of get away with this here, as you see those 3 racks setting up. And we do see this Overlord of Solar moving through the bottom side. And, well, Swan Pool just on its way up from Solar as well. Extractor, so Hatch Gas and Pool to begin with now, as those racks start to pump out a few Marines. So a few Marines on the way out, as we do have this Overlord of Solar heading across the map. And this Overlord just going to be hanging out at the front as well. There we go, Marine's going to start pressing forward. Solar's Overlord is here to watch for this happening. Although it might be in some trouble if the Marines jump onto it. It can supply block you, of course, so it can be a good thing to kind of commit towards. I don't think Bunny did see it, so it's just a case of he didn't want to go for it. And he's immediately going to start putting damage down on towards the hatchery. So I'll start 6 Lings, 2 Queens. Now another SCV coming over and more Marines coming forwards. As again, we win this here, and Bunny will book himself a trip to the round of 24 in Intellect Extreme Masters Katowice. Marines still taking some damage here, or dealing some damage here as the first couple of Lings popping out. Marines taking a very forward position. Bunker on the high ground as well, going to force the Lings to spend some time up there. Solar going to opt for the Ling speed to try and deal with this time around. Still trying to bunker up the high ground, interestingly enough. If he actually gets that up, that is extremely terrifying, because then you're going to be very split up with your units. And again, so is Bunny, as he will get that finished. No second bunker on the low ground is interesting though, right? Because it does have a little bit of an effect that... Oh yeah, this is so weird, man. Like, there's Lings on both sides. Lings are going down the high ground. I feel like Solar's already bleeding off a lot of units that he can't really afford to. Queens are getting some damage done. We're going to be seeing the SCVs thinking about maybe going up towards the high ground there. 2 more Marines will jump into that bunker. Has enough Marines on the low ground to still keep pressure in the naturals. The SCVs are repairing the high ground. They're going to get taken down pretty quickly. The Marines from the low ground will come and help out. We're going to see the drones actually going towards the low ground, though. The bunker on the high ground is going to start burning down. The Queens will drop a transfuse, but the Queen falls. The bunker will go down before the salvage. But the Marines have obviously done a lot here, and having to break through that high ground bunker has definitely hurt. Can deal damage to a few more Lings. The hatchery will fall, but now there's Broodlings. The Marines will take quite a bit of damage from those Broodlings. His Ling speed finishes as well. Marines don't quite get that Queen, which was a bit out of position on the creep spread. Hatchery finally goes down, and Solar building up more Zerglings here. Again, at what point have you just already lost too much, though? 400 resources to 1,400. Solar, 15 workers versus 22. He pulled the workers on that fight as well, remember, so you had a huge dip of income. As Solar going to be setting up there. That's the army size, that's the income. So you can see that right there. You can just see how much more Bunny has been mining. As so it says you play only all in. And Bunny says it's macro. think Solo's probably realizing what's going on. Shut up, Terran is disgusting. Wow. Bold words from our boy Solar, who is not happy with this. As we, do you see those items coming in towards the other side? Again, I mean, these guys, when they say stuff like this, a lot of the time they are good friends and they are just having a bit of a joke around. As we are going to be seeing the Lings in some trouble here, a little bit back and forth. You can see the bunker for a few Marines inside, and Marines again picking up some Zerglings here. They're going to morph into Banes. There's going to be the Bane Bust to try and win the game. Bunny trying to get these Marines back should be okay. I mean, he's got 26 to 12 army supply. This has to be really disastrous for Bunny to work. There's Hellions coming out as well. Even better, honestly, like straight up even better. He's even got Marines over here, so that units coming out will be in some trouble too. Here come the Banes to bust on through. There's so many Marines, the Lings will do nothing. GG is called. And Bunny takes the 4th game of the series, 3-1, and will